This video will provide you background and a little help in participating in a survey we're going to conduct that use stories as culture data. The survey will ask you for your story. Our objectives today will capture anonymous stories from students which show first-person perspectives on school culture. Going forward, we plan to use these stories to better understand students' views of the school in order to lead in a responsive way. Here's the prompt that I hope all of you will answer. If a close friend was thinking of attending your school, describe one experience or event that you would tell them so that they understood what it's like to go to school here. Now, it's important to understand that this prompt is not asking you to describe the school with a lot of adjectives. In fact, it's asking you to tell a story about one experience. And the story can be short. Here's an example taken from a different industry, in this case, a technology company. The participant in the survey wrote, "I was responsible for preparing technical proposals to resolve a specific problem to be applied in several teams. I prepared 3 options and presented to the team's representatives. There were days of discussions when people complained, but didn't propose any new idea. It was really disappointing that people didn't have constructive discussions or collaborative attitudes." So I want you to notice that this is a short, informal story, and it conveys a story. This is the kind of story that could be told in the hallway as you're going to your locker or passing a friend, and exchanging just a brief conversation. So these are not developed stories that would go on for paragraphs and paragraphs. They should be short. This one, in fact, is 4 sentences long. That's the first part of the prompt. You'll write the story. The second part of the survey asks you to analyze your story. So you'll be asked to place the ball in several triangles to explain your feelings about the story you shared. So it's important to understand that these triangles are meant to be a little bit confusing or to puzzle you a little bit, and they're just asking you to think more deeply about your specific story. So here's one, for example, that talks about what the focus of the survey was. I want to use another one as an example. Okay, so with the story you just heard from the technology company, that survey respondent might be asked to say what the experience relates to. The triangle presents 3 options: the needs of the present, opportunities in the future, or values in the past. Now that participant might have decided, well, this is really not talking about the past because it's not talking about the history of the company. It's really talking about the needs of the present because they're talking about people needing better attitudes in meetings, and they're hoping that people would present solutions or new ideas. So it's more about opportunities and needs of the present. So what the survey taker has to do is take this little ball and slide it around the triangle until it shows the balance. You see how the ball is far away from values of the past, and it's closer to needs of the present and opportunities of the future. And it's kind of between them. And it even leans a little bit towards needs of the present. Here's another triangle, another example. This one asks about motivation. It says motivation came from decisiveness, necessity, or empathy. Well, decisiveness is making decisions quickly and with a sense of confidence. Necessity, of course, is about something that's needed. And then empathy is about understanding the feelings of others. So in this case, the survey respondent who told that story about attending meetings where people didn't have good attitudes, they said that motivation came from necessity, probably in her case, and that it was also about maybe decisiveness, but the ball is away from decisiveness, closer to necessity, and it doesn't seem like anybody was thinking about each other's feelings. The last thing to notice about these triangles is that if a triangle doesn't make sense at all with respect to the story, you can click the not applicable box. Now, triangles are supposed to be a little bit puzzling, and there's no right answer. You can definitely raise your hand and ask for help completing the triangles, or you can click not applicable if you don't think the triangle applies to your story.